consciousness to us. Acharyas are giving roots of Krishna consciousness to us. And they have laid all the tattvas and philosophies in their songs. Like in this case, this song is about Guru Tattva. So on our own accord, we may be able to try our level best to get better, maybe to come to the mode of goodness at the most with our own efforts. But past goodness is Sharanagati. That is something that they have to give to us. They have to extend their hand and pick us up. So these songs, bhajans, they speak a lot about the Shuddha Bhakti, about Sharanagata Bhakti. And something pertinent to our katha now is, if you look at this third one, I do not find the strength to carry on alone the Samkirtana of the holy name of Hari. Here, Samkirtana is, if you remember from Samodhana Bhashya, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura stated that Samkirtana is whole Kirtana, perfect Kirtana, total Kirtana. We try to explain that as wholesome Kirtana in the sense, it's not just lips moving, words coming out, mind going somewhere else. Heart is not there at all. That is dislocated, disconnected Kirtan. It's not whole Kirtan, not total Kirtan, not some Kirtana. Some Kirtana means the heart is so much in the Kirtan that we don't have to worry about mind going somewhere else. And the body is going to have its own effect because of whatever is happening in the heart. Those are Ashtasattvika Vikars. So that's the kind of Samkirtan. This Samkirtana is not too far for us. It even starts from the, Sri Sikshashtakam has 7 doors. We are calling them as 7 doors, starting from Namna, Makari, Bahuda, Shloka to the last one. Though this Samkirtana can happen even in the second door, that's Trinadapi Sunichena. So, but for that to happen, to do that kind of japa, what do we need? We don't have strength to do that kind of japa. So that's what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying. I do not have the strength to carry on alone this Samkirtan of the holy name. So then what do? I realize that I'm unable to do that kind of kirtan where the qualities of Trinadapi Sunichena are coming out of me. If those qualities are not coming out of me, then I am not really doing some kirtana. I'm just doing some japa, but not like total japa as Srila Bhakti Siddhanta is saying. So what can I do about it? Srila Bhaktivinoda is saying here, please bless me by giving me just one drop of faith. This part, faith. With this faith that our acharyas have, this is something we don't have, but they have it in full. This is the difference between our world and their world. We are so much attached to what is going on within our mind, which has no faith in Krishna. But acharyas are directing us that we have to be in this world of acharyas who has so much faith in the holy name, in Krishna. So acknowledging that we don't have faith, but now since we are stepping into their world, Acharya's world, whatever faith that they have in the holy name, we are hoping that we will get a drop of it. And what will that kind of faith give? It gives treasure of holy name. What treasure is that? Premadhana. Love of Godhead. Premadhana. So that brings us to our topic of how the holy name is Srila Nirapam Das Thakur said, Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtan. So this Harinama Samkirtana, again, Samkirtana has two meanings, as Srila Bhaktisiddhanta explained. One is congregational chanting, many devotees coming together, that's one meaning. And the second meaning is Samkirtana, the kirtan that comes from our whole being. And if you look at Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's comments on Hari Bhajan and holy name, all of his commentary is based on this second meaning, that Samkirtana means the kirtan that is coming out from our whole being. So when Srila Narottam Das Thakur is saying, Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtana, when the Harinam is done in that Samkirtana, totally absorbed, when our heart is in the holy name, Golokera Premadana, then we will realize that Harinam is Premadhana of Goloka. Whatever is there in Goloka is present in the Harinam. Vraja is present in Harinam. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. When we are saying Leela, then the devotees of Krishna are also present. And whole Vraja is filled with love for Govinda. So Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela and Premadana or Krishna Prema are all present in the Harinam. And that's why this is not just called Harinama. This is called Premanama. The Harinam that is brought to us by Gauranga Mahaprabhu and is given to us by our Guru Parampara is Premanama, giving us Premadhana. So this is the faith of our Acharyas. This is how they chant. This is what Harinam means to them. That the whole Dham is present in the Harinam. Yeah. So when we are saying, when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura is calling out, "Oh Acharya Thakura, please give me a drop of faith." This is what we are praying. This is what we are asking for. Right now, our Harinam is more in Nama Aparadha because we are pulled by passion and pushed down by ignorance. We are not in Nama Bhasa stage also. But when we are directing our focus, energy and submission to the Acharyas, that is the biggest treasure that we are getting from them, the faith that this Harinama is Premanama and it is giving us Premadhana. That is what we are begging for from Acharyas. That we have to remember. That we really have to make a note of it. Because that is the very first step in Sri Sikshashtakam. So it's like we are making a switch from our mental world of our own thoughts and own conceptions to the world of Acharyas, of how we should be looking at things, what should be our perception. So this is the first step regarding the Harinama, that Harinama is Golokera Premadhana Harinama Sankirtana. In the Harinam that is given to us is present Rupa, Guna, Leela and Premadhana of Krishna. Single most starting point, continuing point, the point of focus throughout the japa is the single most point. The closer we stay to this fact that Acharyas are instructing us to focus upon, the better our japa gets. Okay, so this we will come more. We will talk more about this particular topic in how to avoid aparadhas. And today I thought I will just mention how this journey into Sri Sikshashtakam is a sum total of all the bhakti that we are doing. So we will be talking about that, how significance of Sri Sikshashtakam and the goal of Sikshashtakam. The significance is that, see, we are doing this bhakti. We took Diksha, or we are aspiring for Diksha, and we have started bhakti. And we are starting to hear the lectures, the Shastra is there, and we are chanting, all this. So, whatever we are hearing and whatever we are hearing should be helpful for our japa, because it is in the japa that our relationship with Lord Krishna is revived. So that is the place of Shastra. Shastra is to help us to do our japa. Shastra is for the Tattva Jnana, so it can make us steady in the japa. And whatever services that we do outside, they are to be done in light of the mood that is prescribed by the acharyas. Otherwise, they would just be one of those Namaparada only, one of those activities that go on, but there is no bhakti inside. There might be some purification happening, but for the full benefit of it, a service needs to be carried out with a mood that is endorsed by the acharyas, like that. So we are doing bhakti, and in bhakti are there these services, the shastra is there, japa is there. But all these are to culminate and to aid in our japa. So our relationship with Lord Krishna is revived in the japa. I wanted to bring that slide where Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is summing up this point of how Sri Sikshashtakam is the very essence. I'm trying to search for that, but I think it will come in one of the slides. Yeah, so it will come in one of the slides. But there, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is saying that this Sikshashtakam is the very essence of all the Goswami literatures and the Shastra. So when we say Shastra, we are hearing all the lectures, we are doing the Shastric study, we are doing this course, that course. Yeah, all the courses are done. The information is, we may be getting the certificates also. We may be having the knowledge about Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and about the Sandarbhas and Goswami literatures, everything. So anything about the Shastra, the essence of this, all the Shastra and the Goswami literature, not just the Shastra, but the Goswami literature also, because in Goswami literature, there is that mood of prema bhakti also. Rasa is also there. In Shastra, like Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, most of it, there is only tattva. But the rasa is so much present in Goswami literature. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta was saying that Sri Sikshashtakam, these 8 verses of Sri Sikshashtakam. Yes?
Mataji, are you sharing something or not yet?
I am not sharing anything, Prabhu.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah.
Please continue.
Yeah. So this Sikshashtakam is the essence of all the tattvas of the Shastra and the rasa of all the Goswami literature. So 8 verses of Sikshashtakam has everything that we are trying to know in bhakti and trying to experience in bhakti and trying to do in bhakti. So that is the significance of this Sri Sikshashtakam. And not only that, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, the Sikshashtakam is not only to know, but to actually live. Live it. I mean, please, if we look at the impact, the gravity of this, how much do we understand Sri Sikshashtakam in the first place? Most of us, we may be reciting, and many devotees, they may know it by heart and they know the translations also by heart. But how much of it are we understanding it? Number one. Number two, how much of it did we understand right in the light of acharyas? That's one thing. So understanding in the light of acharyas. Second thing is, okay, understood. But how much is it relevant to me? How much am I imbibing it? Only when I see the relevance for me, I can imbibe it. So that's the second point. And the third point is imbibing. Okay, I have imbibed it. Is it just to do the japa for 2 hours that I do the Sikshashtakam? No, not just that. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta states that we have to live Sri Sikshashtakam. So just by doing this, understanding the Sikshashtakam as explained by the acharyas, giving relevance to us, imbibing the essence and mood of it, and living it, not only doing japa with that mood, but living it. In other words, Sikshashtakam inside the japa and outside the japa. That's Kirtaniya Sadahari. So all this can be done with Sikshashtakam. All the Shastra, all the rasa of the acharyas is practiced and lived if we are able to understand Sikshashtakam, imbibe it, and then pray that we may live it. So that's the significance of Sikshashtakam. By the time we come to say the first sloka only, we are actually covering the 14th, 16th, 17th, 18th chapters of Bhagavad Gita. That's all about modes. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sharva Sakti. Why am I not having the taste for Harinam? Because I'm affected by the modes. So in that way, all those chapters of Bhagavad Gita are covered if we are able to open the first door of Sri Sikshashtakam, which is Nam Namakari. And the initial chapters of Bhagavad Gita about the soul, who we are, that is the second chapter. Yeah, that is the fundamental understanding, Jiva Tattva. And then the middle chapters about Lord Krishna. Those things will be realized more as we go, as the other doors are open, the second, third, fourth doors, the 7 doors of Sri Sikshashtakam, starting from Nam Namakari to the last verse, Aslishya Vapada. Those are 7 doors. Like Vaikuntha Vraja, there are 7 doors, right? So the first door is Nam Namakari. By avoiding the aparadhas, now we are actually coming to the overview. We have just finished the significance of Sri Sikshashtakam. And we also mentioned that the goal of our life is to live Sri Sikshashtakam. It means understand, bring the relevance, imbibe the mood. It will be in the japa and outside the japa. That's the goal as endorsed by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. We have covered these 2 topics so far. And the third topic is overview of our journey. Before going to that, we also covered how we are making this switch from our mental world to the world of acharyas. If you remember in the Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter, the intelligence has to be guided by Shastra. In other words, Shastra should take the place of intelligence. When the Shastra is directing us to Sharanagati, Sri Guru takes the place of intelligence and directs us in the Sharanagati Bhakti. Yeah. So this switch that we are hoping and praying for is from the mental world of our own conceptions and half understandings, misunderstandings in bhakti to the world of acharyas. It is like right now, our mental world means conditioned world. Everything is based and looked upon being me the center. That is the mental world, conditioned world. It's like the software is infected with virus, totally infected. Every thought is based on keeping me the center. The whole formula goes wrong. Very infected software. And what we are trying to, hoping to, and praying to make the switch is to de-infect this software. Take that me and I from the center and put Krishna in the center. In other words, we are actually looking away from Krishna now, towards the people, towards the things, towards everything in this material world. We are not looking at Krishna. Now, what we are hoping and praying to do is start to look at Krishna. Turn towards Krishna. That's what we are trying to do in the very first verse of Sri Sikshashtakam. And the other example that we can give is, apart from the virus infecting the software, if you see, if somebody has cataracts in the eyes, they cannot see things properly. Because they cannot see things, they get frustrated. They get angry. And they also bump into things because they can't see things properly. So they get injured. They get hurt. All this is happening because they can't see things properly. The only solution is, if they can see things properly, if those cataracts can come out, then everything that is present will be seen as such. It will be clear for them. They're not angry anymore, not upset anymore, not sad anymore, and they don't bump into things because they see the things as they are. So that's the world of acharyas, where the vision is clear, seeing things as they are. That is what is turning towards Krishna means. So that's what Sri Sikshashtakam does to us from the very beginning of the first sloka itself. Okay, so that's what the effect of Sri Sikshashtakam is. It's just making things clear is just only the beginning, but it actually places us in the spiritual realm, in our own eternal Swarupa, as Srila Bhaktivinoda was singing the other day in his bhajan. Right? That's the potency of Sri Sikshashtakam. Just making things very clear to us is only a beginning, but giving us our Swarupa and placing us in Vraja to be part of Lord Krishna's world is the ultimate fruit of Sri Sikshashtakam. And next, coming to the overview of the journey. As we just said, the overview of journey is the same thing that we have just discussed. Our software is infected with virus. Our eyes are blind now with cataracts, and that's why we are not able to see Krishna. We are sad, angry, frustrated, not happy, dissatisfied inside, lost, disconnected, feels like an orphan. And all this is because we have turned away from Krishna. We are not looking at Krishna. So in the first sloka in Nam Namakari Bahuda, Acharyas guide us how to turn towards Krishna, how holy name can make us turn towards Krishna, the Bhakti Shakti, Ladini potency of the holy name, how it can make us turn towards Krishna. So with their direction and instructions, if we start to do the bhajan, we will slowly start to turn towards Krishna, and then everything that is material becomes very faint as a background for us. It's a beautiful, relieving feeling. Just in the very first door itself, as the first door to Vraja Vaikunta opens with Nam Namakari Bahudanija Sarva Shakti, with that sloka, one would start turning towards Krishna, away from this material world gradually. And in the second door, as the second door opens, one would be in the world of Krishna, Krishna Samsara. In the sense, they may be living with us. We may be living as anybody are, but we will be in Krishna Samsara. In the sense, now that the cataracts are gone, we are actually wearing the glasses of Acharyas, Acharyopasana. We are seeing everything. We are perceiving everything in light of what Acharyas are directing us. Then we see automatically that Trinadapi Sunichena happens very effortlessly, very naturally, not doing any mental formulas or mental adjustments. Without any of those things, if we follow what Acharyas are saying, Trinadapi Sunichena happens to us naturally, and we will naturally see that we are in the world of Krishna, Krishna Samsara. And as we move on, as the third door opens, that is Nadanam na Janam na Sundari. Now that we are in the world of Krishna Samsara, in the sense where we are seeing everything in relevance to Krishna very naturally, very happily, we are getting a taste of devotional service, spontaneous devotional service to the Lord. And that devotional service is so tasty for us that we do not want Nadanam, Najanam, na Sundarim Kavitam. We do not want anything external from outside. Again, it happens so naturally, so beautifully, that one does not want to really look for anything external. Because the taste for reciprocation with Govinda is so sweet that they want that reciprocation, sweet reciprocation. In want of that sweetness, they don't want anything that are not sweet, which are external and worldly. That's Nadanam Najanam. And past that, the fourth door is not in our hands. That's Ainanda Tanuja Kinkara. That's Bhava Bhakti, where anarthas are almost gone. All the anarthas are gone. Just the vasana is remaining. But all the anarthas are gone. And at that time, all they are absorbed in is just service. And they are not bothered by any threefold miseries. Those are the threefold are the three tapas, right? Of ourself by the devatas and by the other bodies, Adibhuta, Adidaiva, and Adhyatmika. So their body, even though their body is going through whatever it has to go through, they are beyond this tapas, Adibhuta, Adidaivika, Adhyatmika, because they have perceived their eternal Swarupa. within. When they are perceiving it, experiencing it, realizing it, they are not shaken by anything outside. That is because of a drop of mercy from the Lord in the form of Ladini Shakti, Ainanda Tanuja Kinkara. After that is Anandamudi Vardhanam. This Harinam, which started as a fountainhead in the very beginning, before the first door opens, when we are anchoring to Harinam, when we are depending on the Harinam, when we realize that everything is actually in the Harinam, then that is a stage of realizing that Harinam is the fountainhead of everything that exists. So starting from that fountainhead, Harinam being fountainhead, by this stage, Anandambodhi Vardhanam, we will experience that Harinam, Krishna, is not only fountainhead, but ocean. Anandambodhi Vardhanam. They are perceiving Krishna everywhere, inside, outside. Ananda Ambudhi Vardhanam, and the joy of devotional service to Govinda is ever expanding. This is beyond time, space, and physical body limits. If we see in the Charita of Srila Bhaktivinoda, he had many physical limitations because of the medical problems. If we see Srila Bhakti Siddhanta's austerities, that is beyond a physical body can tolerate. And if we see our recent Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, how his body was in that stage of, at least Anandambudhi Vardhanam, on the so-called deathbed, when he was about to leave the body with pain so much, inflicting the body, he was beyond all that, and he was dictating Srimad Bhagavatam. So at that stage, the devotee is not afflicted with any physical time-space limitations. They are in Anandambudhi Vardhanam. And the next door, sixth one, is Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam. For them, every word in Mahamantra, every padam, and every moment in the time, every breath, and every beat of the heart. Devotional service, loving devotional service, not just devotional service, Preeti Seva. They have imbibed the Preeti Seva so much so that every part of them is filled with Preeti Seva. And any gap in that they cannot tolerate. So they would have so much pain if they are not in Preeti Seva. But again, in that stage, there is their pain, that is devotion in separation, Vipralamba, is very much different. It's an intensified absorption in Krishna. But Pratipadam Purna Amrita Swadanam. For them, every step is a dance. Every word is a song. Every day is a festival. Because they are beyond this time, place, and any limitations. So they are so much absorbed in loving servitude to Govinda every moment. It does not matter to them if they are in this physical world and are offering to Govinda, or if they're actually in the transcendental world. For them, it's just transcendental world anywhere. Sarvatma Snapanam, the final door when it opens to Vraja Vaikunta, that is Siddhi, the Swarupa. They are very much established in their Swarupa. And at that stage, they are constantly relishing the mellows of loving devotional service. Even if Govinda is with them, apparently, or if Govinda is gone far and not physically present with them. But they have bound Govinda in their hearts, and Govinda also places these devotees in their hearts. That's the final door. So these are the different doors in Sri Sikshashtakam. Like for Vaikunta, we have 7 doors, right? So for Vraja Vaikunta, it's Sri Sikshashtakam. The first door helps us to turn towards Krishna. Second door places us in Krishna Samsara. Third door gives a taste of what loving devotional service means. So we don't want anything else other than that. Nothing external, only that internal flow, bhakti rasa that goes and flows out as loving devotional service. Fourth door is Bhava Bhakti, where one perceives one's Swarupa. Fifth door is they are in Anandambodhivardhanam, the ocean of loving devotional service to Govinda. Sixth door, where Pratipadam is Purna Amrita Swadanam. Every word of the Harinam is a nectar. Every moment in life is a nectar filled with loving devotional service to Govinda. Seventh door is Sarvatma Snapanam, with Govinda in thoughts, even when physically present or even when not physically present, intense thoughts of Govinda within. So Vipralamba is intense pleasure in the thoughts of Govinda, though Govinda is not present physically in front of them. So these are the 7 doors of Sri Sikshashtakam. Is this all relevant to us? Where are we? Is the next step. When we look at it, we clearly know, I clearly know that I am definitely in the first step. Nam Nama Kari Bahuda. Right? But, okay, if I know that I'm in the first step, what do I do to get the second one? How do the other doors open? That we want to know. See, for the first door to open, there is a lot that we can do. We will talk about that in the next class, in the Nam Namakari. And most of it is linked with bhakti outside the japa. And for the next door to open, Trinadapi, that is possible through Sharanagati. That is also the next step, and that can be a lifetime journey, but a beautiful journey. Then, if that is the case, do I have to know about the other steps? Yes, we want to know. Because when the mercy opens, we never know. We want to know what is waiting for us, what Gauranga has come to give to us. So though we are not in that stage and we don't know when we will be taken through those doors, we would definitely want to know. So for that reason, we will be knowing all the doors of Sri Sikshashtakam. What happens and what to do for those doors to open, and what happens when those doors to open. Those things we will know one after the other. Okay. Now, last thing is, what do I do during this Katha on Sri Sikshashtakam? And as I mentioned, I shall be placing everything that I have heard from Acharyas, which means from the first verse to the last verse. We just have to see where we are, where we match, and make our journey from there. Not to be discouraged, because we are still in this path of bhakti, but all this is ahead of us journey. So a map will be given to us, information will be given to us. We will hold on to it, and in the light of Acharyas and with the mercy of Harinam and Gauranga, Sri Guru, will just go on with that journey. Okay, so I will pause here. That's everything about Sri Sikshashtakam. In a nutshell, I would again say we talked about the significance of Sri Sikshashtakam, how it is the essence of all the Shastra and also the essence of all the Bhava and Rasa of the Acharyas, and how it should be our goal in our life, Sri Sikshashtakam, not just to understand, but to imbibe and to live, not during the japa only, but outside the japa. And next thing is about this Sikshashtakam journey is about switching our world from mental world to the Acharya's world. Yeah. And we talked about the overview of the journey from the first door, opening the first door, all the way the 7 doors. And next, we talked about how we want to look at this journey. We want to see where we are at and just do our journey gratefully in the light of Acharyas, seeking the mercy of Sri Guru and Gauranga. Okay, I'm going to pause here. Thank you all so much. The mercy of Sri Guru and Gauranga, we get to hear something about Sri Sikshashtakam, and this is our map. From the next class on, we will talk about